This is the Sewing Circle podcast presented by Hanky Code. I'm Rebecca Vanderkoy, here to introduce to you up and coming queer artists and the powerful stories behind their work. Today, I am so thrilled to introduce you to Janeece. They're a talented artist blending indie pop and soul. Her debut album, The Sun Will Come Out, came out at the very end of last year. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Very excited to have you. So, could you talk a little bit about how you got your start in music?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've always loved music from the get-go. When I was very little, my favorite movie was Annie, and I was just absolutely obsessed with singing. But I actually ended up getting into sports, and so I played soccer my whole entire life and left music on the back burner until about 2020, when I just decided to go full force and make a song every day, which is kind
Oh,
of how
wow.
I started. Yeah, I made a song every day for like a month. And out of that, I made an EP and one of my most popular songs, Bored. And yeah, no, it was really amazing an enlightening time, and I was like, this is absolutely what I need to be doing, what I want to be doing. um and ever since then I've just been trying to make as much music as I can, and balance kind of work and music. But yeah, I've had a
Yeah.
lot of shows recently, and I moved to New Orleans for about 2 years, and when I was there, I spent more time working, and then I've moved back to Chicago about a year ago. And since I've been playing all my music here, and it's been amazing.
Very
Yeah.
cool. So, what kind of gave you that push in 2020 that you're like, you know what, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, like the pandemic happened, and that was a really scary and isolating time for a lot of people.
Yeah,
But for me, it definitely made me get closer to my music, and I obviously school was kind of pulled back for a while,
yeah,
and that was helpful for me at the time. And it gave me space and time and energy to think about like what I really wanted to do and how I wanted to pursue music. And so I spent like most of that summer just like kind of working on like curating my own energy, my own vibe, my own sound. And
yeah.
yeah, and then I kind of was just like, if we're gonna do it, we have to do it full out. So I made a song every day. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
So, kind of speaking a little bit to like finding your sound, how did you find and develop your current like sound and style as an artist?
That is a great question. My sound, people are always so surprised to hear that I make my music on GarageBand.
Oh,
Um,
wow, yeah.
yes, yes. And so since 2020, have been using that, and have been learning how to fine tune my voice and how to fine tune my producing. My album, my most recent album, The Sun Will Come Out, is produced by me. So I'm really proud of that, and yeah, it's been a lot of learning. I've taught myself everything I've known
Wow.
over the last 4 years, and this album it was one of my proudest achievements because of it was really all me. And yeah, it was
No,
amazing.
that is really cool. I feel like that is one thing about like independent artists that always blows me away. It's just the fact that like it's not just the writing or like just the singing. It's very much everything that you kind of have to master and you are mastering it.
Yeah, no, it's so hard, and it's not just the music too, ever since like especially 2020, with social media, it's you have
Yeah.
to be your own like PR, you have to be your own producer, you have to do it all. But
Yeah.
it's been a learning journey. Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about, that record, could you talk a little bit about the process of creating it?
Absolutely. So that record, it's kind of, I like to say, a breakup album, and stemmed from several years after 2020. And in 2023, I kind of started to make some songs for it, and just kind of started to like process where I was at in my life, and the experiences that I was going through. And I honestly was really focused on having fun, having a lot of fun, and having a good time and finding myself again and loving myself again. And
Yeah.
so by the end of the summer, I I really wanted to make a album that was representative of me and my time over the last like 2 years, and that was fun and pain. And so I
Yeah.
think it was really important to me to make an album that was honest and true about the hardships that I went through, but also was fun and light and beautiful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So is there a song that you're especially proud of on that album? I feel like that's a hard question, but
That is a hard question, but I think that I would say my favorite song on the album is probably "Fuck Around and Find Out."
Mhm.
um, that one is not the first one I made on the album, but it is probably the most meaningful to me on that album. Um, and that song is again probably the most representative song of the whole journey and process and experience that I went through over the last several years. That is now my music and is now my album, out for the whole world to hear. So yeah.
Wow, yeah. So I guess kind of speaking to, I know you mentioned, like drawing some inspiration from heartbreak and some of these things. Where else do you draw inspiration for your music?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love to make sad songs. I love songwriting specifically, and I think songwriting for me is such a healing experience. And usually making a song, and when the songs that I put out and the songs that I have out, I don't always intend to release them. I usually intend to just make a song and feel that song as I'm making it. um
Yeah,
yeah, and that's like always been really important to me, like the process over the result, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, I feel like that's a good way to approach a lot of creative things. And I always feel
Yeah.
like that kind of ends up producing like the best work when you're really just focusing on like enjoying all aspects of the process.
Absolutely. It's really important to me to stay authentic and stay true to myself. That's something that like is a really massive part of me. And so it's
Yeah,
really important to me that it comes off in my music as well.
yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. So I'm curious, what artists have been especially inspiring you that, or have you especially been listening to lately?
Lately, well, I have drawn a lot of inspo from Dochi. Lately, just her energy, and also seeing a beautiful black artist like myself in the industry, like has been really cool and important.
Yeah,
Um, to see somebody who looks like me and for her to be so successful. But in terms of other musicians that are more like my sound, I really love Dominic Fike. I love Maggie Rogers. Um, who else have I been into lately? Um, let's see. Oh, Rachel Chino Riri. I love Rachel Chino Riri. I've
oh
been
yeah,
really
she's
into a lot
amazing.
of. She's amazing. I love Black British artists. Black female British artists are some of my favorite artists. So
Yeah,
that's where my lies. Yeah.
Kat Burns is another really fantastic Black British
Oh my
artist. She's
goodness.
so good.
We love Cat Burns.
Oh yes, absolutely. So pivoting a little bit, but I always like to ask people, what does queerness in your work mean to you?
Yeah. Queerness in my work means, again, circling back to just being authentic and truthful because that's who I am. My queerness and my identity is ultimately a part of me that want to, I want people to see it as something that should be respected and something that can be respected, but also something that should be seen as important and something that we should see as something that we can validate. I feel as if music in like the queer space overall and the queer music space, it's not always super validating, you know. It's not always
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard to navigate sometimes. So yeah.
No, I absolutely hear that. I feel like it's such an important thing to figure out. Um,
Yeah.
so outside of music, are there any other types of art that you're especially into or that like maybe especially inspire you?
Yeah, I love poetry. I love poetry. So that's probably one of the biggest other mediums that inspires me and I draw from.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really love deep, meaningful words and dialogue. And just like unpacking, being able to like unpack such a short little prompt in such a short little poem, or like unpack a
yeah.
song and like lyrics and like what it really means to that person or that artist is something that I love just experiencing as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like, poetry goes so hand in hand with songwriting as well. Like these are things that are definitely connected. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you mentioned that you've been doing some shows and stuff. So I'm curious, are there any particular songs that you've been especially enjoying performing live?
Oh, that's a great question. So I have been performing my album live a lot lately, and I really love playing Breakup Sex and Monsters. Those are two ones that I really love. And I also have been playing an original slash different version of Monsters at some of my shows. That's a little bit slower, but is the same. And that's been really special. It's been really special to like put my story out there and sing it to the world, and people know my lyrics now, and that's crazy.
I
So
love that. No,
yeah.
that's really cool. So, speaking to that, are there any particular shows or show, I guess, that have like really stood out to you?
Hmm. I had a show at Reggie's Chicago that I loved. It was one of my biggest shows that I've had. And it was so special. I just felt like there were so many queer people there, and it was really, really, really important for me to like make a safe space for queer people
Yeah.
always. And I feel like that was one of the first times that I could like see it with my own eyes in front of me as I was on stage, and that just like felt so special. So I loved that, and I'm really looking forward to my next show on June 5th. Well, my in June 5th, I'm playing with Chloe the God, and I'm so excited about that. That's something that I'm looking forward to. So,
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. So, is there anything new or exciting other than, of course, this show, that's upcoming for you that you want to talk about?
Well, I've been talking to a lot of different producers and DJs in Chicago, and hoping to like come out with something, a collaborative piece soon.
Mhm.
I also have been working on some music videos for my album that everybody can stay tuned for, and I'm really excited about those. So hopefully by the end of the summer, you'll see some music videos from me.
Awesome. Can't wait to see them.
Yay!
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join me. I really, really loved The Sun Will Come Out, and I am super excited to see what you accomplish next. I can't wait to see the music videos. Lots of exciting things to be looking forward to.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you again for having me. This has been
Of
amazing.
course.